Like a lot of Jeep owners, I've had the same problem that a lot of people complain about, which is roof leaks, and that they'll open up the car and look under the mats, and under the mat will be a puddle of water and you won't have any idea where it comes from. I looked, it was on the right side, so I looked down inside this area here. I opened the hood and reached back under there and looked to make sure, flooded it with water and made sure that there was nothing leaking underneath the cowl that was causing the problem. And so I ruled that out right off the bat. And then I came in and started looking around the inside to see what could possibly be. Now we have a best top on our Jeep, which just flips up. It's a really nice little top, and the channeling for the Jeep is actually pretty good. And the water channels out through the front of the top where it meets the top of the windshield there, and it's supposed to run down on the outside of this rubber gasket here, and so it would run down on this part of the windshield post. When it gets down here, you'll see that they've added some extra tape to prevent the water from going down beyond this point and channel it out. Well, on the left side I wasn't having a leak, but on the right side I was. And this little rubber thing right here, this little rubber piece, is here to allow you to fold the windshield down, which rarely do people do that. But what it does is it's supposed to seal that up so that when the windshield is down, it can be put up and down pretty easily. So what I discovered was, though, that the water was getting behind the channel here and it was running down into this track. And when it gets to this point here, this little rubber piece becomes like a rain gutter to direct the water behind the channel, and then it runs down the inside of the door jamb here behind the plastic housing on the outside, the shield here, the covers, and then underneath that and flood this area on the other side of the car. So what I did was I just got a piece of this tape, and this is actually waterproof or insulation tape for water lines, and it's got a little bit of sponginess to it, taped on one side. And I brought it over to this side where I was having the problem, and I'm telling you, it would get really wet on this floor, like sopping wet. And I took a piece of that and I put it underneath of the inside trim panel and angled it down sort of like they did on the other side, and then covered it over top of the rubber gasket that they already had on there. And so what it does now is the water comes down here, runs out, and gets back on the outside where it's supposed to be, instead of being channeled down on the inside and flooding the car. And I've had that way now for probably 6 months or so, and that seems to have fixed my problem. So for anybody that's looking for why their floor is getting wet, this could be one of the reasons. I'm not saying that's the only one, but this is the one that worked for me. So good luck with yours.